everybody, welcome back to Kruse Control. It is Wednesday, May 17th, 2023. Welcome to Kruse Control, the home of entertainment news. I am your host, as always, Brian Kruse. Welcome back, everybody, and as I say, it's hump day, hump day, hump day, hump day, everybody. Welcome back to Kruse Control. And as always, I have with me the lovely Miss Sabrina Vittori. How you doing, Sabrina? How's your night been?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Happy hump day. You have a good hump day?
I sure did. It's spectacular.
How many times did I say happy hump day? That's the question during this whole show.
Well, we're at about 12, so.
Something like that. And joining me back here with Sabrina, hey Jar, how's it going, man? Good to see you in the chat. And joining us back here on Kruse Control for the umpteenth, billionth, millionth, and trillionth time is Mr. Sean Sutherland. Sean, welcome back to the program. How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing fantastic on this hump day. You know, if it's Wednesday, it's got to be me on Kruse Control. So here I am, and looking forward to get into it.
Getting ready to hump it up. And that's humping it up from the trunk itself is Mr. Mike Casey. Mike, how you doing tonight?
You noticed I was in the trunk. I was going to mention that I'm back. I'm back in the trunk. I don't know. Can I do a plug? Can I do a plug up top? Is that too crass?
Get in there. Get in there.
Yeah, on Pocket. I'm back in the trunk because I'm recording in the trunk for a new Pocket FM series called "Lightning is the Only Way." I think I play the Son of God in this narrative episode, so maybe it'll be exciting. The writing is good. Hump day, right? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Always a pleasure to have you here on Kruse Control. And there's a lot happening tonight and this week in general. Of course, we were here yesterday for a special Tuesday, but we can't not be here on a Wednesday, right? On a hump day, because when it's hump day, there's always some breaking news. Too many humps.
Humps.
I agree, GR. I agree. All the humps.
Well, everybody, the first thing I want to talk about is Ant-Man Quantumania. That's right. Ant-Man 3 is finally coming to Disney Plus, so you can watch it at home. When? Right now. Today is the very first day it's on Disney Plus. So if you want to watch Ant-Man Quantumania, look in the credits under the cast. You'll see this guy right there. I'm just saying. But if you want to see it, check it out. You can finally watch it. It made $473 million worldwide. Came out February 17th. It's back again. Stream it. Watch it. Check out some Paul Rudd. And watch him go on some crazy trip into the quantum realm. Because if you haven't seen it, check it out now. It's your time to watch it on Disney Plus. That's all I'm saying. I know it's very mixed out there. We've said it a million times. And I get it. But, now you can watch it at home. Maybe you'll get some more enjoyment seeing it in your home theater system.
It's good. I'm going to watch the part of it that I slept through in the theater.
Nice. Yeah, well, if anybody did fall asleep too, this is a perfect time for that too. So Ant-Man Quantumania, everybody, is coming back. And speaking of Paul Rudd too, I want to talk about a new project Paul Rudd's doing. It's called The Invite. That's right. Paul Rudd is signed on for The Invite with Tessa Thompson and with Amy Adams. And he's not playing a superhero, everybody. He's playing a married couple. He's a husband in a married couple for 15 years. And they're kind of having some problems dealing with their marriage and stuff. And they have new neighbors move in. And apparently those new neighbors are swingers. And now they're getting wrapped up into a orgy with their neighbors who are doing orgies weekly. So
tale is
what
old
will
as
happen?
Time.
The tale is old as time. It's called The Invite to the Orgy. Well, The Invite. So
you should be so lucky as to have Paul Rudd be one of your swinging couplets members.
Right?
Like, it's going to be, more like Danny DeVito vibe is my suspicion.
So the password is just orgy, and he shows up and he brings some sandwiches or something. Yeah.
It's like, bring it in.
Sandwiches.
Invite everybody.
Yeah, maybe you'll get some chicken wings out of the deal. Like, that would be a bonus.
Is KFC still open?
No, he's got that Jersey Mike's money now, so he doesn't need that.
Well, it's also like they're new to the neighborhood, so it's like, all right, new to the neighborhood.
Know where they live, so he can move next door. He's ready.
GR, we'll have some breaking news on that later. We'll find out exactly where that neighborhood's at, so you can go knock on that door. There'll probably be a pineapple out front, because apparently that's what they do, is they put a pineapple out front.
Upside down pineapple.
International sun. Oh,
you're about to gain 100,000 subscribers, Brian.
Watch out for that pineapple, everybody. That's all I can say. It's a sticky situation in that house.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. And speaking of sticky situations, that's what Indiana Jones always gets himself into, sticky situations. But they're not that kind of sticky, but they are sticky in a lot of ways. So Indiana Jones now, everybody, is coming to Disney Plus finally. Everyone's probably been wondering this too. I mean, it's Disney. Why is it not there yet? Why is it not there yet? Well, Kathleen Kennedy said we're officially bringing it out in time for the new Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. So May 29th, you can sit down and binge all the Indiana Jones. Talking about Raiders, we're talking about Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and even the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which you might want to forget about, but whatever. You can watch them all through May 31st, and then on June 30th, you can go to theaters and see the new one, Dial of Destiny, with Harrison Ford himself, coming back for the very last time. But I think it's good that they're finally bringing these to Disney Plus. They're great movies. Like, why not? Why have we not had these someplace to stream like this? It's about time, right? It's about time.
Do we know how much money they gave to Harrison Ford? He doesn't like to be in movies, from what I understand. He prefers to not. Like, it takes zeros and zeros and zeros to get him to even pick up the phone. Like
he's had enough.
Imagine, like, he's making $20 million on the deal, right?
Oh, has to be.
Oh yeah. Yeah, easily. And back end points, probably too on top of it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely getting the back end points, but you got to get him to come out because the thing is, you can't have this without him. This is the last one. They said that's it, and they've apparently shot that ending multiple times. Talk about that in the show too. So
it's just Shia from here on out. No more Harrison Ford.
Yo, Ty, what's up? Yeah, I mean it could be, but I don't think so. No one wants to see Shia LaBeouf in this shit.
Why did they? I mean, they kicked him to the curb. He's not present in this movie at all, right? Like,
yeah, no, not at all. No, not at all. They're ignoring all of that.
That's kind of a 180. I was surprised.
They're saying no.
Wait, all right.
That's what they're saying to Shia LaBeouf, right, Sabrina?
Yeah, not a fan. Well, I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of him in the Indiana Jones. That was not anything I want to revisit in my lifetime.
You're more a fan of his performance art, right?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
100 million GR says.
Yeah.
He's great in Shrinking. Harrison Ford's great in Shrinking. I'll tell you that though.
Absolutely.
If you think about someone that's awesome,
he really
Harrison Ford.
That show is amazing. Great.
Yeah,
show.
it's amazing that instead of paying writers, we just get the Indiana Jones movies on Disney Plus. That was a weird, really. I'm surprised they went that way instead of paying writers.
Like,
but hey, we'll just give Harrison Ford some money and they can watch.
Doesn't that just say that people are stupid?
Yes.
Isn't that all that says?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even when you break down. Even when you break down, they're losing like $30 million a day. They say that's the number for like this every day. If there's a strike, $30 million. They've already lost like 300 or 400 million, something like that already. And there's no end to this. They're not negotiating. It's kind of on stall. They're just like waiting to see for someone to budge. And again, we look back in the past, 3 months. That's kind of the magic number. So we'll see, everybody. It might be a long time. So the AMPTP and the WGA are also in a very sticky situation, if you will. And can they get out of it? That's the question. Can they get out of it? Also, will Loki be okay in season 2 after he broke the timeline? Will he get out of that? That's the next question, because Loki season 2 is finally coming, everybody. They finally announced it. October 6th, 2023. We're getting our season 2 of Loki. Kevin Feige did an announcement about this during Tuesday's Disney Upfront presentation. Now it's going to be weekly releases as it did last time, which makes sense. That's how they're doing it all the time. The one thing that I thought was interesting, again, in the press release and during this release announcement, Kevin Feige mentioned all the cast except Jonathan Majors.
Yes.
Not a word on Jonathan Majors as Kang in this.
Yeah, I specifically was looking for that and waiting to see if they'd make some sort of announcement. Obviously, not ready to make the call. I don't know, but yeah, his name is suspiciously absent from the press releases and from the news bits about it. So not surprised, obviously, with what's going on with that sticky situation. To steal
very sticky,
super sticky. But I'm excited to have the show back. I don't know how they're going to handle the Kang of it all, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, they had to, based on when this news broke, they must have had plenty of it filmed by the time that happened, right?
Oh, it was all done.
All of it.
All in
It
the
was
can.
all
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. Holding
So
was done.
That happened in the editing room and reshoots and rewriting. Like,
I mean, maybe
I
just
don't
maybe
envy
they're
them.
just. I think they're keeping it ambiguous right now to see what
Yeah.
happens, like before it comes out. So I think they didn't mention him in the press
Smart.
release. Apparently, the first trailer came out, not for us, but people have seen it, and he is not. There's no whisper of him in the trailer either.
Mhm.
So I think they're just keeping it without him for now until they see what happens in court and how they're going to proceed. Because I don't think that they've decided yet. I mean, it makes sense that they haven't.
You're so
But
insightful, Sabrina.
Not even
This
a
is
whisper of
stuff
him.
I would never realize on my own if I didn't have the gift of being able to join you guys.
Well, the thing is, though, too, it's like, yeah, and this happens. They know there's drama with him. So why, put any kind of publicity out for him? Because there's no need. Like, there's no need. He's not like Owen Wilson. He's not Loki himself. He's not Hiddleston. So, like, why do we have to, like, push him? Just be quiet
he's
about it.
King.
Yeah. And they did do that whole thing. But I've also heard that maybe he isn't as big a part as you actually think in this. So, yes, they teased it.
That would have been a big coup for Disney. Hopefully, for
Well,
their sake, he
yeah.
wasn't, and it was just teased up front like that.
So someone said like that he's not really in it, like also, but like the one of those end credit scenes, the end credit scene with Loki and whoever Owen Wilson's character is, was actually a scene from
Mobius.
Loki 2. Mobius, thank you. So that scene, that was the end credit scene for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Peyton Reed confirmed he was the director of Ant-Man and the Wasp, but that was in fact a scene
Friend of the
from
show.
Loki 2. So, like, he's definitely in it. I mean, I would find it very hard to believe that that's the only scene that he's in an entire season of a show. So I think they're gonna have to do some figuring out once things come to fruition. We see what happens, and they're gonna have to make a decision. And probably it's not gonna be easy, but they'll do what they gotta do. They're Disney.
The whole theme of the show is variants, so maybe they just grabbed a variant of Jonathan Majors from a different universe where he didn't do these terrible, terrible things. Hard to say. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it won't
That
look
is
like him.
amazing.
It will be a different person. You're going to pretend as him. Like, what do you mean?
No, like a different Jonathan Majors. I'm just making a multiverse joke. It doesn't really make
instead of you meant his actual person, not his character. I thought
Correct,
you meant Kang.
yes.
I was like, wait a minute. Okay, fair enough.
No. It was a multiverse joke. Yes, I'm a nerd.
It was hilarious.
I liked it. I liked it, John.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I didn't get it. That was my fault, not his. Oh, what happened? I think Brian froze, possibly.
We lost the host.
We lost.
I think
the
Brian
host.
froze. I believe the
co-host.
next topic on the breaking news situation is that Jaleel White is going to be starring in the Skeleton Crew.
We
which
had
is
to lose him for this bit.
the
I'm so
newest
sad.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose him
installment. I
for
mean,
this bit of all
He'll
bits.
be back in 10 seconds. I think he's back right now. There he
There he
goes.
is.
I had some
Yay.
news I had to just attend to. So I had some
Oh,
breaking
thank God.
news, buddy.
It was a sticky
SAG-AFTRA
situation. Yeah.
SAG-AFTRA sent out a notification to everybody saying the board has unanimously agreed to send out strike authorization for SAG-AFTRA for their contract negotiation coming up at the end of June. So that's just going out right now. Their
That's
members.
actual breaking news right
That's
now.
actual breaking
Look at
news.
you.
What does that mean? Can you
Wow.
break that down a little bit for
Yeah.
us, Brian?
Yeah, so the board actually sat down. How it goes is they go to negotiations. First, the board has to go and vote to be like, will we let a strike authorization move forward? They all agreed unanimously. So now it goes to the members. So a vote will be going out to the members probably next week. And it'll pretty much be yes or no. Do you authorize a strike? And whatever the higher percentage is, like if it's like 98% yes, now the board has the authorization to strike right away. So when June 30th, when it runs up, they'll be able to be like, we don't have a deal. We can strike tomorrow right away because members said we could. So that is done. They have to do that authorization first every time, but that is the first step they need to do. And they don't always ask for that unless there are problems moving forward. And right now, there are problems because WGA is striking. So they went for it right away. They said, hey, let's get authorization. They haven't even negotiated yet. They haven't even gone to the table yet to negotiate. So this is very early to do this, but they put it out to the SEG members. So if you're a SEG member, you're looking forward that email's coming to say, hey, we're going to vote to see if we want to strike. And the thing is, hopefully everybody just gets behind them, because if everybody gets behind them, and then we can actually wrap this up eventually and get a deal made, because if the directors and the actors and the writers are all there being like, hey, figure something out, the studios have to move.
There's strength in numbers.
Always strength in numbers, And it's a huge thing. So that was some breaking news right now. And there's, like I said, there's always strength in numbers, just like the numbers that come down to Shazam 2. There's no strength in those numbers, but it does tell you how bad it did. That's all I can say, because the numbers came out for Shazam 2, and right now, everybody, it is the lowest grossing film in DCEU's history. Since kicking off in 2013. Lowest ever. All right, so opening weekend, $30 million. All right, it earned globally $133.4 million. Okay, now, that's a good amount of money, right? Good amount of money. Production budget, over $110 million. Marketing, $100 million. Over $210 million to make this movie and to market it. And it only made $133.4 million. So, big bomb for DC. And if you look at the last one, Shazam 1, it made $363 million. So, and it had a budget of $90 million. So, they made a lot of money in the first one. This one, not so much. And I know Zachary Levi is probably crying in a corner about it. I feel bad for him. He's good in it, but the movie just didn't live up to the hype. So
they'll make it up on VHS rentals. I think that babysitters are going to be putting their 7-year-olds to sleep with this for decades to come. So it's going to be a slow burn. You mark my words on that one.
It's going to get cult classic status any day now.
Guaranteed.
And we're gonna tell stories about how we made fun of it to our kids.
Have you seen it? It's pretty bad. No. It's bad.
I didn't even bother.
That's 2 hours I'll never get back of my life. It was really bad.
Yeah, Sabrina, you just saw it. So what do you think? Does this make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. It was awful. And the messed up thing is that they had a lot of star power, and like it and the first movie did really well. Like they just dropped the ball. The writing was shit, honestly. The writing was the writing is terrible. It was terrible. Like and even writers. It really was. Yeah,
Pay those writers.
You know what? Whoever wrote that should really be on strike forever. Okay, you should stay home and not write anymore. Whoever you are. I'm sorry. It was just the writing
Probably
was
AI.
really, really bad. The story was bad. Like it was just I had zero interest, zero investment. Could care less. It was really, really bad. So. Yep. I mean, I feel bad for everyone involved that they, are involved in a
that they wasted
movie.
Their time on this.
Well, no, that it that it bombed so badly. Like that sucks for anybody involved in anything. You know what I mean? But like, it was really, really bad. I mean, you can't sugarcoat shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it was awful. And I wanted to like it. That's the worst part about it. I really enjoyed the first one. But it was awful.
That was the problem though, is the first one did so well, you expected the second one to follow up with it, but they didn't do anything to really make you excited for it, right? They were trying to tread the same ground that they did in the first movie, and I'm not surprised this didn't do well. There was not enough tying into the rest of the universe. There was never an inkling of what Shazam meant to the larger DCEU storyline, if you will.
That's a very strong point.
Yeah,
but the first one was the same way. It's like totally a standalone situation, they brought in the Black Adam. That Rock did the Black Adam thing, and instead he teased Superman at the end instead of Shazam when they're like rivals. Like it was just, I don't know. I just think it was all very poorly done.
Well, that was also the Rock's choice, and
right.
I think Rock made the right choice there. Sure, as a nerd, the mythos makes a lot more sense for Shazam and Black Adam to be going at it, or to have some kind of interaction versus Superman, but Rock was like, nah, I don't play with that Zachary Levi.
Which is
give
insane.
Me the Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he fought.
And look how that worked out for him.
It was like a huge deal, and then they both got fired. Like the whole, and I feel like that was that had a bit to do with it as well. Like the
absolutely
extreme lack of success of Black Adam and following on the heels of that nightmare,
Yeah. And the thing is, again, like Sean was saying, not connected for most part. Wonder Woman made a cameo in here. She actually showed up. Gal Gadot out of nowhere. She was there because he was like crushing over her the whole movie. And he's like, oh, I want to have a date with Wonder Woman. But like this universe is already done. So I think people just wrote this movie off right away because they're like, this is already over with. We already have other things moving forward. What's the point of this movie? There really was no point for the movie. And it bombed. It bombed bad. And I feel bad for him. The cast and the crew and even the director's like, I'm going back to horror because he did horror before. And he's like, I'm done with this superhero shit. And I mean, I'm sorry people didn't watch it.
For that.
There was some goodness to it. There was. I enjoyed some of it. It was some fun.
Dude, it was really bad. It was
the unicorns were ridiculous in it. I will say that again.
All terrible.
The evil unicorns eating Skittles. All I have to say. And you're like, what?
Goodness. There was some goodness
Taste
in
the
it,
rainbow.
Sabrina. That's what
it
says.
Yeah, there was some goodness. I think I liked it overall, but but there was
The
really
dude
some
who
lot of
played their
shit.
dad and the foster dad was the best part of the whole movie. If that tells you anything, he was probably in the movie for a total of 10 minutes. He was the best part of the movie, in my
He was
opinion.
crushing it. He was crushing it. He was
So for
crushing
10
it.
minutes, I didn't want to slam my head against a wall. You know what I'm saying? It was really
Yeah, yeah. Don't do that. But he was crushing it, just like Jamil White crushed it as Urkel, because he was awesome as Urkel, and we all know he crushed it for years. And I know he hated it for a while and pushed it aside, but now he's coming to Star Wars, everybody. He's coming to Star Wars, and you're like, "What is this? What's happening?" Man, he just announced.
Let's get to this.
Bring him into Star
I'm not
Wars.
like what at all. I have zero confusion.
But
I
he's
want
gonna
him
play
to
a pirate.
be Urkel, though.
Well, unfortunately, unless he's an Urkel pirate, because he's apparently playing a pirate. He said he actually had to have heavy prosthetics done every day for 2 hours in a chair, and he was really excited. He actually said it's coming out November, December, which they haven't actually said when it's releasing, which is kind of funny. He must have been very excited, first time doing something for Disney. Hopefully not the last time. But this is a Skeleton Crew series that he's going to be in. Skeleton Crew, and it's coming out, like I said, November, December. And he's saying right now that he's super excited. He's going to be playing a pretty substantial part, and pirates are supposed to be the main villains in this too. So we'll see. Jude Law's in this, Carrie Condon, Ryan Kira Armstrong, who was also in American Horror Story. She's awesome. She's a little girl that's really been rising up, doing great. So I'm excited about this series. It could be fun. They had like first little teaser release, but it was kind of behind scenes. So I saw some clips from it. It's pretty cool. And I like me some, he was awesome as Sonic the Hedgehog. He was awesome, right?
I knew you were going to say that, Brian.
He was great as Sonic the Hedgehog.
He liked the chili dogs. He really did.
Urkel and Star Wars. Urkel and Star Wars. So good.
But like, how good would it be? Urkel doing like Anakin's greatest hits. He slays all the younglings, and then it's like, I do that? And it's like, oh my god! Like I could just totally picture it.
Did you just come up with that, Sean, or was that from Perko? Really? Okay.
I did. No, when Brian was doing it, I was like, oh shit, I gotta save this. I gotta save this. Yeah.
Right? I hate to do that to the man, but
I needed to hear something heartwarming, and I'll be able to take that and snuggle with that when I go to bed tonight. That's great.
Enjoy.
But
that visual
Sean,
of Urkel.
Sean, do you think that like this will be a big impact having him in there? Will it change his career, or do you think this is gonna be like a little thing and it's gonna be done? It's not even gonna be anything big.
I mean, it's his opportunity. It's probably the largest opportunity that he's had to redefine himself and reestablish himself in recent memory. And what better way to do that when with a red hot IP like Star Wars? I think the more that you get to focus on it, the more you understand his character. Perhaps he gets some more screen time. Are they playing him with Jude Law or any of these other big names that are on the show?
That picture is hilarious.
Thank you for that. Yes, that's perfect. I just saw it. That's exactly where I wanted.
I'm
my
so
head
sorry.
Right no, thank you. But no, like I, more power to the guy. He's still acting. He's still doing things, and he's still in the business. So, by all means, I'm excited to be surprised by it. I'm excited to see, what a new Urkel is like.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. And maybe they'll have some fun with it too. They might, you never know. It might be something like that. They really haven't said anything about his character. Nothing's confirmed besides he said he was a pirate, and that's kind of probably a big giveaway they didn't want out there, but that's how it goes. He's probably super excited about it. Sabrina, what do you think about this? Are you excited about Jamil White coming to Star Wars, or are you going to be giving me some bad shit about Spice tonight? What are you thinking?
Well, let's be fair. He's playing a pirate underneath heavy prosthetics. No one's gonna know which one is Jaleel White anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. No, I mean you probably will IMDb it later and be like, which one of these yokels is Jaleel White? If he's in makeup for 2 hours under heavy prosthetics, you're not gonna know that it's him. But they first of all, I've heard of this, but like I wasn't really sure like what it was about. I knew Jude Law was in it. It's very hush hush, but apparently
it's the Goonies in space.
Yeah, thank you. I was just gonna say that. So go fuck yourself. And so anyway, that since it's Goonies in space, it kind of makes sense that like pirates would be the villains, right? There's also another rumor that the pirates are the same pirates that were in Mandalorian this past season. Like, so it's like that same group of people, and this happens parallel to, it's like the same time frame as the Mandalorian is happening, which I thought was interesting. So I mean, I almost wonder if there'll be some sort of a pop in by I know you're looking at Urkel, that picture. It's
Sorry. Yeah. Hyperspace Urkel.
Honestly, I think the most interesting thing about this story was the fact that he was at a Houston Oilers playoff game and just gave an impromptu interview, like in an intermission, and that's how all this happened. Like that's how it
went down.
Hilarious.
And I don't think the other guy he was talking to even knew anything about Star Wars. He was just kind of like, okay, yeah, you know. But good for him. I think it's pretty great. And I think it could be fun. And again, yeah, Goonies in space. That's pretty much what it is. I mean, you have a bunch of kids and Jude Law's a Jedi and he's kind of training them.
Are you finishing up and going to a segue or can I get a full bite on this topic?
I'm getting to you, Mike. I'm getting to you.
All right.
I was also going to say, as Sabrina said, it takes place during the Mandalorian time, but of course after Return of the Jedi. So after Return of the Jedi, between that and The Force Awakens, that's where this whole universe fits in.
Mandalorian time.
Yeah, which is when this fits in for our Star Wars fandom out there. So Mike, I'm going to go to you next here, buddy. So what do you think about Jaleel White coming to Star Wars? Do you think he's going to leave a big impact, as big as his Urkel career? Or do you think that this is just going to be something like Sabrina said, prosthetics and not even know it's him?
I have no opinion. I'm not interested.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding, Brian. It's funny. Like if I'm giving you a lot of energy, you're like, or anybody, you save us for last in this segment sometime. I appreciate it. Let's do, if you can, I don't know how much time we can devote to this because we could go all night, but
you're squandering your precious minutes, bro.
Okay. I'll be fast for Sabrina's sake. The epic tale of Jaleel White as Urkel. I just see a lot of back and forth. You've got clearly the young genius of Urkel, like nobody expected that. Oh, and then the pubescent Urkel. Oh, he's got to, he's beginning to think, oh, I'm contending with the way that I'm perceived by the audience. And he is reckoning with that. And so boom, we've got Stefan Urkel. So now we've got a way to deal with that. But then 1997 happens. We're post Family Matters, and now Urkel is left with this, brief genius career. But what do you want him for other than that one trick pony, right? So he's left in a little bit of a quandary. He gets some work as you mentioned earlier, Sonic the Hedgehog, which is great, but it's a very limited area. What I'm hopeful now is that we've had enough time for him to process that back and forth of emotions of what his role as a child actor has been in being loved and being irrelevant, back and forth. So maybe he's not going to be channeling Urkel in this character at all.
It's been a long path.
But he's also at the point where he's not having to work diametrically opposed to like try and strangle the role so he can get some more attention, right? Now he's just like, I'm happy to be hooked up with this Disney gig. This is great. So I think we've got a new relaxed Jaleel White, and this is just, maybe he's under the makeup, but I bet he's going to be easy to deal with on set. And I can imagine that this is going to result in some more work for him. And he's clearly a massively underrated genius. I've been saying this for at least the last 2 decades plus. So yeah, bring it back, kick ass, Jaleel, and let's see that career explode, dude.
Yeah. Mike, you've been thinking about that a little bit, haven't you?
I think about that every day for like at least 45 minutes.
The Daily Jaleel.
Mm-hmm.
The Daily Jaleel, yeah. But that's true. Maybe he will be able to take like all that years of being a kid actor to now channel it and make the best character ever at the biggest time in his career for Star Wars, where he can become well-known, well sought after, and everyone's trying to get a picture with them. Just like Meghan Markle and Harry are always getting pictures taken of them, and they're driving themselves nuts. Well, apparently, everybody, this is for GR out there. Some more Harry and Meghan news for you, GR. So Harry and Meghan were apparently in a huge chase last night by the paparazzi. So much so it gave him like some flashback to when he was youth, and he's worried about like his health, his livelihood, his wife. It was his wife, him, and his mother-in-law in the car. Apparently the paparazzi chased him for 2 hours. Apparently going on sidewalks, running red lights, just trying to get pictures. They're saying they had like over, like they said, involved half a dozen blacked out vehicles chasing them. And this was after an award ceremony. Okay, so they went to an award ceremony apparently where Meghan Markle was given an award. And the award was, here goes Sabrina, she received a Woman of Vision Award. That's what she got last night, a Woman of Vision Award. And then as she was leaving, so excited coming off this ceremony in New York City, the paparazzi charged the cars. They got in their car and they're chasing around the streets. Multiple near collisions. 2 police officers were involved with this. Almost ran over some bad pedestrians. And they said that they were worried about their livelihood and they thought they were going to die and end up in the hospital. But they didn't end up in the hospital. They got away. They were fine. Everything was okay. It makes me wonder if they're just kind of blowing it out of proportion for, I don't know, maybe for some media news, maybe a little relevancy again in their lives. Maybe. That's the question I throw at you. We talked about this last night about how celebrities do this, those stage publicity things in order to get paparazzi to chase them, to put themselves back in the news. Yeah, it's something that can happen. So let's go to Sabrina first. Sabrina, what do you think? Do you think that this was maybe it was intended to be a paparazzi stunt, something for publicity, or do you think that they really were being scared out of their minds, being chased by these paparazzi? And this was something that was, they feared their life for.
Okay. So first of all, I did joke that maybe they staged it, but I don't think that they did stage it. However, I did a nice deep dive today whilst at work. Don't tell my boss. So that I could be clear upon it, because I was listening to the news on my way in when I was driving, and they kept stressing every 2 minutes that this is their story, their version of events. So this is what their team came out and said to the media. Okay, so it's not official at all. It's just what Meghan and Harry's team is telling us, right? So on my heavy deep dive Google situation, the NYPD made a statement, and they said on Tuesday evening, May 16th, the NYPD assisted the private security team protecting the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. There were a number of photographers that made their transport challenging. The Duke and Duchess arrived at their destination, and there was no reported collisions, summonses, injuries, or arrests in regard. So NYPD doesn't seem like it's too big of a deal, right? Then the New York City mayor goes on to say, like, he said something about Princess Diana and, like, how everyone knows how she passed and that people need to be responsible. And then he said, clearly expressing skepticism of the fact that this went on for 2 hours, he said, I find it extremely hard to believe that there was a 2-hour high-speed chase. We have a lot of traffic, a lot
2
of
hours,
movement,
they said.
and there's a lot of people on the streets of Manhattan, and even a chase just as long as 10 minutes would be extremely dangerous. There's no way you get out unscathed, in a 2-hour chase around Manhattan. Like, let's not be ridiculous. So the mayor definitely does not buy that story. Then the royals, like Buckingham Palace, said, we have zero comment on this issue because we no longer comment on matters related to the Duke and Duchess of Sussex because they stepped back from their royal duties.
Of sucking.
So obviously they don't think it's a big deal. And last but not least, the paper outlet that the photographers submitted their photos to also made a statement for the photographers, and they said that they were covering the couple's stay in New York City, including a possible dinner after the ceremony. They had no intention of causing any distress or harm, and the few photos even show Meghan Markle smiling in the cab. One of the 4 SUVs from Prince Harry's security escort was driving in a manner that could be perceived as reckless. The vehicle was seen blocking off streets in the video, and it is also shown being pulled over by police. According to the photographer's president, there were no collisions, no near collisions, no crashes, no near crashes during this incident, and they reported feeling that the couple was not in any immediate danger at that point. So I think that they just really blew up and made a huge deal out of a very small thing because they knew that it would get them in the media, it would get them attention, especially with obviously what happened with Princess Diana in 1997. And I think they just really made it seem like it was something that it wasn't.
That's kind of what it seems like. I mean, honestly, I heard that too. 2 hours, and I'm like, how do you have a car chase for 2 hours? Well, they were running traffic lights. They were riding on sidewalks, and they were.
Anyone who has ever driven in Manhattan knows that this is bullshit.
Yeah, but how long did OJ's case last?
On the 405.
That was in California.
And if you live here, how the fuck did that happen on the 405? That's all I can say.
You put a lot of facts out there about timeline. We're not bringing up the OJ of this all. That's all I'm saying.
I'm still shocked by OJ.
Everything.
Get in there, Sean. What do you think about this?
everything I need to know about Harry and Meghan, I learned from the South Park episode that dealt with them.
Such a good
It's
episode.
yes, it's
No,
very
no,
much.
well,
If you
privacy,
have,
man.
yeah. It's a bunch of nothing. Big surprise, it was nothing, and and yet there's something.
We want
because
our
we're talking
privacy.
about it. Exactly. No, I couldn't care less about this, and congratulations, we fell into the trap that they've laid.
They got us.
Yeah, they
I
got
say the
us.
same thing, Sean,
I
except
feel like
I say the congratulations sincerely. I say, good work, guys. You played the public.
You got us.
We deserve it.
So, Mike, you think the
Take
same
it back.
thing too? Mike, you think this is publicity? You think they just got us? You think that's what this is? Or do you think that it was really, they were scared for their lives?
Do you have to run? Like, what's a chase? Do you have to run from a person with a camera?
Exactly.
It's not a gun. Like, also, tinted windows exist, and I can bet you that on all of those SUVs, every one of their windows is tinted. Like, you can't even see inside. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'm not an optics expert. I'm not claiming to be an optics expert.
Well, apparently some of those pictures have her smiling, so I don't really think it was that big of a deal.
Yeah. Okay. So here I'm gonna usually Sabrina and I have slightly different takes on this because I say, if you can play him like a fiddle and you can get your bag, like how is it not going to happen like that? Someone is going to do it if it's not Meghan Markle and homie G, which is what I like to call him. It's going to be somebody else taking advantage because that niche exists in the ecosystem, right? However, in this case, if you're using like your mother's highly publicized death as a means of it, like that's a little
weird.
bit that's a little tasteless.
Tasteless.
So here's a question to everybody, but Sabrina in general. So is this just a method of keeping them trending in the public eye, or is there a more direct way that this is leading to them getting some Skrilla, that they're clearly that their whole issue is like
trending?
It's
got to be trending, Mike. Trending, but also trying to get money. I mean, you also want to get publicity, so maybe they have something new coming out. There must be a new book, or
another Oprah interview.
Like,
keeping them relevant. It just keeps them relevant because people are talking about them. It keeps them in the news. It keeps them in the public eye. It keeps them relevant.
We're gonna get fatigue here though soon enough.
We already have it.
They better be dropping something big. If they're not getting any money directly from this crazy bullshit situation, they better be dropping something huge.
I'm sure there'll be a huge interview that they'll be like, "Oh my God, we prayed for. Oh my God, I thought we were gonna die. There was a paparazzi on a bicycle that was going so fast on the sidewalk.
So bad.
Like, bring it in, lady." And like exactly like you said, like it's a camera. Like
it's a
stop
camera.
It. Like you could just stop the car and sit there with the windows rolled up, the tinted windows, and just wait.
Right,
they'll get bored eventually and leave.
Hey guys, my mom died like this. I don't really want to play this game. Can we just not?
This is probably not cool.
They were driving on like has anyone been to Manhattan? There's no driving on the sidewalk. You would mow down 30 people, literally totally 30
absurd.
people.
Totally absurd.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, doesn't pass
really
the
is
sniff
ridiculous.
test.
No.
Yeah, I mean, that's why it doesn't make sense. Ty in the chat too was saying 2 hours. Come on, it's
a lot.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It does feel like he came back from his father's ceremony, and then she's like, "I'm not in the news at all. So I'd be in the news somehow. Let's stage something." To me, it kind of seems like that. I'm not blaming on the woman.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
How brave of you, Brian. How fucking brave.
It was all Harry. All Harry. Harry asshole.
She is definitely she's the catalyst in that relationship, honestly.
I mean, we talked about this last night, how Kim Kardashian does this, though, where she has paparazzi. She pays somebody that brings paparazzi out, creates stories, and it creates buzz when they have a new show coming out to help out the Kardashians and shit like that. So that's all I'm saying. It seemed to me like that's kind of the story is. When I first saw it, I'm like, did they get hurt? I thought like maybe a car accident happened, And you start reading, you're like,
based on the headlines.
Headlines.
Like, I think it's
the headlines
actually
are really
happened.
Yeah. Near catastrophe.
Near catastrophic. Like, fuck off.
That's the biggest non-headline you could have.
Something
almost happened, and you should pay
2 hour chase. Like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah. But another big headline today that came out is the new Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning trailer is out. And of course, everyone's talking about that motorcycle stunt that Tom Cruise did. They see it online. There's pictures everywhere. He apparently did it so many times, like over and over again for one whole day, because that's Tom Cruise. That's what he does. But this is going to be a send-off for the Mission Impossible franchise, this two-parter. Part 1, of course, coming out this summer, July 14th, 2023. Part 2 coming out July 28th, 2024. Rebecca Ferguson joins the cast. We got Vin Raines. Simon Pegg, of course, is back. Vanessa Kirby's in this. S.A. Morales is coming in to be the bad guy. But the thing is about this, it's like, these movies, we know what we get with this. We know we're getting Tom Cruise running in the trailer. He's fucking running his ass off again. We got on top of that, we got, big stunts like this off the cliff on a motorcycle. You also got that train crash in this trailer too, which looked pretty cool. I enjoy these movies because it's always like high action, high insane like stunts, but it's kind of like Fast and the Furious, but better, I would say. Always better. You got Tom Cruise in there kicking some ass. Sean's thinking about it. Think about that, Sean. We'll get to you about that.
Yeah,
but that's the thing.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's like, that's kind of what it's like, this big blockbuster action film that Tom Cruise brings out. Of course, he's getting older. So 63, 62 years old. It's like, he's kind of at that time that maybe he won't be doing this that much longer. Who knows? But then again, he might be the kind of man that you'll catch him jumping out of a plane at 90, and doing something crazy. Let's go to Mike first on this. Mike, so Mission Impossible came out. What do you think about this stunt? Him going off this cliff, flying off the motorcycle and parachuting away down the cliff. And do you think this will be a good movie for Tom Cruise?
There's a lot that can be said about Tom Cruise. He's a controversial figure in some respects. One respect that I find him not controversial at all is he's an actor who's all about doing like his own crazy stunts. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, I don't know what kind of personal beliefs he has that enable him to do such interesting activities that are far beyond the pale of us mere mortals, but accolades to him, and in his 60s, like, still crushing it. So good job, Tom. As far as the Mission Impossible movies, they're incredibly consistent. Were any of them bad? Like, I think I think the worst thing you could say about them is that watching particularly the bit with what was it, 5 with Superman, and there's a helicopter involved and I think the worst you can say is that this is a highly implausible situation. In fact, that's what my
Mission
wife said
Impossible.
when we watched. It's Mission Impossible. Like, I had to come up with just crazy rationales involving multiverses, like, in order to say that this is a plausible thing for us to at least be watching, even if it's not occurring in our own section of the multiverse.
Do you think he's crazy to do a stunt though, Mike, or you think this is par for the course?
No, dude, he's got great insurance. They're not going to let him do anything that's actually dangerous. That's not going to anything that would kill him one time in 10,000. They're not going to let him do. Like,
yeah,
they're not giving him the budget Walmart bungee cord. Okay, they're giving him the quadruple thick. The Brian, we call that the quadruple thick.
All right, it's a sticky situation that you're getting me into right now.
You're Polish, Brian. This is a Polish. This is embarrassing.
Oh my!
I don't know where you're going. You can watch that on Peacock, everybody. So,
that's gonna be I'm saying that of a lot of properties, Mission Impossible has been doing great. Like, it's entertaining every time.
Yeah, it really is. So, I mean, you know what you're getting yourself into this. Sean, what do you think about this movie? What do you think about this stunt? And what do you think about the new trailer? Do you think this is going to be a hit for Tom Cruise? Or should he have stopped being this character years ago?
No, I think he's going to run this one into the ground. This is a fantastic stunt. Every iteration of this franchise that comes out, he's always pushing the boundaries. He's always finding something new to show us that we didn't think was possible or didn't think was feasible. Again, we're just coming up with adjectives at this point, right? Impossible, impractical, whatever you want to say. No, I think it's going to be great. They're very formulaic at this point. We kind of know what to expect in these movies. But again, this is part of the fun of going to the movies to watch things like this. We don't need something that challenges us so much. It's just a little suspension of disbelief, some popcorn, a Coke that's going to make you piss your brains out in like an hour and a
Yeah.
half. What else do you need? So yeah, I'm all for it.
Do you think this is his craziest stunt, or do you think this is kind of tame? Like that cliff we have up right now, that's what he ran off of. He drove a motorcycle off that thing and flew through the air. Is this as crazy as normal, or is it just like he's losing it a little bit?
I don't know. The fact that he was holding onto a plane that took off, I think was for me one of the top
Yep.
ones.
Yeah.
So this, this is interesting. But no, I think he's got more to show us. I think the franchise has got more to show us. And I think the trailer does exactly what it's supposed to. It teases you a little bit about what to expect, the crazy visuals, crazy kind of action, and I can't wait to see it.
Gets you amped. What do you think, Sabrina?
Yeah.
Sabrina, what do you think down there, Sabrina? Do you think that this is be a big hit for Tom Cruise, or do you think you're over the Mission Impossibles?
Me personally, or like the world? Because
I'm talking about you.
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan, period. I'm also not really a Mission Impossible fan, though I do really enjoy Ving Rhames and Simon Pegg. Tom Cruise, to me, honestly, and I know that people love him, but he literally, to me, is the same character in every single movie.
Mhm.
He's just running really fast like this with the blades and jumping on shit and jumping off shit and kind of being like a wise ass. Like, it's just always the same. So, like, I'm not super impressed by this guy, like, ever in general. Plus, he's like 4 foot tall, which, like, okay,
Hey,
I'm only
alone.
saying he's 4 foot tall, dude.
He's
Everyone's
not.
like,
He's
oh my
tall.
God. He's tiny. He's tiny. He wears
There's
boots.
nothing
Like,
wrong
let's
with
be
being 4
realistic.
foot tall.
Yeah,
Look, I'm just saying. No, because everyone's like, he's this like
height
big,
elitist?
huge action.
What are we doing here?
Yeah, I
Height
am
shaming.
a height elitist.
Yeah,
I am
Jesus.
height shaming. Because the reason why I'm height shaming is because people are like, he's this huge action star, da da da. He wears like these lifts, and like really, if you put him next to like any person in that movie, he would look like a little tiny person. And everyone thinks he's so fucking badass. He is badass. He does his own stunts, like you said, the holding onto the plane. Like the motorcycle thing does not surprise me at all. Doesn't surprise me. I don't think that there is any I'm not surprised. He's gonna film a movie in space, dude. Is this a space movie?
No, it's not.
Is
Not
this
yet.
a movie that's in space?
They have not shot the
All right.
space movie yet.
Well, he's doing a movie in space. Like, I am not surprised. Like, I would expect him to like jump out of a spaceship and somehow manage to float his way back to Earth and land in the water. The fucking psychopath that he is. But that being said, Brian, you said Rebecca Ferguson is joining the cast. She's been in 2 other Mission Impossibles, FYI, Rogue Nation and Fallout, which was 5 and 6. So I just wanted to make sure that we knew that. And then also,
I meant rounding the cast up.
Oh, well, you said joining. I just wanted to make sure that, I correct an error before
Bananas,
someone
oranges.
yells at us in the comments. Bananas and oranges? That doesn't okay. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm not excited, but I'm not going to see it in the movie theater. I'll see it when it comes on my couch, just like I do with every other Mission Impossible movie, and that's it. I don't mind that they keep making them, honestly, because like you said, very formulaic, very obvious action bullshit. So like, it's fine. It doesn't upset me. But I'm definitely not going to pay $20 to go see it.
I'll see you when you come on my couch, Tom.
When it comes on my couch, when it comes out on my couch, like when I can sit on my couch and watch it.
When you can sit on.
Don't make this a sticky situation, Mike. Okay?
There it is. That's what I was waiting for.
There it is.
Up and down the line. It's your fault, Brian, for starting that. I'm rescinding the blame for all of that nonsense earlier.
I just threw the ball. You caught it and threw it to somebody else, and they caught it, threw it to somebody else. So I mean, it's
situation.
Now we're in a sticky situation, and that leads me to our featured story of the night. And what is that sticky situation? Who will be cast as Superman? That is a sticky situation, because if you cast the wrong person, the fans will go freaking nuts, because we know how this town works with these castings. And a lot of times there's fan castings, and that's why James Gunn's been very quiet about it. Well, now, across the board, news is coming out who potentially is going to be our Superman and our Lois Lane. Now, there's a couple people still down to the wire. They're saying they're sending in final tapes over Memorial Day weekend, and then they're supposed to make a final decision early June, probably right in time for Comic-Con. I'm guessing that's when he'll actually announce it. I can't imagine James Gunn doing an announcement via Twitter or something like that, because if you got a big event like Comic-Con coming up, that's the time when you tell people about Superman. But anyway, so James Gunn said he's relieved about this because they have some great people that are up for it. And he says that he wants Superman to be someone that you want to give a hug to. That's what he's saying. You see him and you want to give him a hug. He wants him to be wholesome, all-American. He wants to go with an American actor, apparently. That's been something they've been talking about. Some of these people up for the running are not American, but that's what they're saying, that David Korsnet is the main person that'll probably get it because he is American. He's wanted to play it for a while. He's 29 years old. He starred in the movie Pearl. He's also been in The Politician and Look Both Ways. And if you see some of the fan art, which we'll show you tonight, it kind of makes sense to me. He seems like he makes a pretty good Superman. Tom Brittany's also up for it, 32, British actor. He was played Reverend Will Davenport in ITV's Gretchen Chester. I probably just butchered that, everybody, but that's what he's known for. Andrew Richardson also from The Independent and Vice and Killer Among Us, which I don't really know who these people are that much. And then Jacob Eldori from Euphoria apparently was up for it. Well, they were saying, but now they're saying going back that he actually didn't send a tape in. But these are our main people right now that are up for Superman. And I think David is the person. I think so. We'll see. Now comes Lois Lane. The main person up for it is Miss Maisel herself, Rachel Brosnahan. Apparently, she's the main person up for this. She said it would be extraordinary on The View recently, saying if she got this. She also said, don't, listen online, but you could tell there was something going on behind her voice. Emma Mackey's also up from Barbie, Death in the Nile, Sex Education. She's 27 years old. Phoebe Dynevor is up. She's also from Bridgerton. She's 28. And then Samara Weaving's also up for it, they're saying, who's 31 from Babylon, Bill and Ted, Hollywood, Ready or Not. She's done a lot. So, but it sounds like Rachel and David are the main people. We'll see. They're also saying Nicholas Hoult is up for Lex Luthor, which could be pretty cool. Very interesting. And James Gunn was actually saying that Lex Luthor is going to be more of the Apex Luthor, they're saying. And the Apex Luthor being the one that can actually fight Superman, actually has strength beyond just being a human. So that when Superman and him actually get face to face, it'll be stronger, tougher to beat Lex Luthor. So that's kind of cool. So that's kind of the casting news going on. This is coming out July. I think it's coming out in 2024, July 11th, 2024. It's going to start shooting early January. So that's why they have to start announcing these cast members. And to me, we've all seen the pictures. I've sent them out to everybody. I think it makes sense, right? Sean, what do you think? Do you think that any of these people are really going to be meant to play Superman and Lois? What are your favorites? And do you think it makes sense, or are they way off?
I don't think they're way off. I think when you look at historically how Superman and Lois Lane have been casted, it's always somebody that is kind of known but not super well known. This is like an opportunity for them to kind of reinvent themselves, or at least come out and become a bigger star. I think it's going to be really tough for me to accept anyone that's not up to the stature of Henry Cavill. I think he did a fantastic job with Superman. Couldn't give two shits about who they have playing Lois Lane, because I think they always really play her the same way.
Anyone will be better than Amy Adams.
There you go. You got that. I would agree with that. But again, I think these names are just conjecture at this point. I think the way that James Gunn is going to announce this and how he's going to bring about it is going to follow the tradition of how Superman is, kind of casted. So I'm excited to see who it is. I don't think it's any of these names yet. I just don't think we're there yet.
I feel like, and this is David up the screen right now. I feel like I see what people are saying, probably, Sean, that it would be him. Also, he has been told he looks like Henry Cavill apparently for a long time, and he said he always tried to shy away from that. But he also said that he was hoping the next iteration of Superman would be like a ray of light, and he would like to play that character. So he's a big Superman fan too. So that's also why fans are kind of going nuts, being like, maybe he be the guy.
That's the hard part about
muscle on him. It'll look a lot more like Henry Cavill even.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing about casting characters that you've known and grown up with and had for generations. It has to be nailed. It has to be. There's so much pressure on the actors that handle these characters to do it well and do it with reverence that these characters deserve. And yeah, it can be really tough. I still want to see Nicolas Cage get his shot. Why the hell not?
Well, you might actually very soon see him get his shot, Sean. I don't want to say anything because I heard this actually online already. Spoiled something for me. But very soon, very, very soon, everybody, you will see Nick Cage wearing that Superman costume. That's all I can say. Within this year.
That is super rude.
Within this year.
What is the
Rude.
context for something
Now,
like that?
if anybody
to
wants
even
me to spoil
happen?
it, I will. But I'm gonna put it out to the group here first. So anybody want to see it? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Oh no, Sabrina.
You gotta know. Sean, I'm leaving it up to you,
It's
buddy.
up to Sean.
No, I don't want to
I'm
know.
alone?
He's saying no. He's
I
saying
don't
no.
want to know. I
He's
Too
don't
much
saying
want
no.
to
love for
know.
Superman,
And you're
too much
just
love
gonna
for the
side
Cage
with
Monster.
Sean, Mike?
I'm-
That's
I'm-
bullshit. You don't have an opinion.
Of course he has an opinion. There's it's just as good as mine, though.
I'm
His
too
opinion is
excited.
whatever you think.
I'm
Apparently,
too excited to
Whatever
make a
you
choice,
think.
Sabrina.
Well,
No,
GR says down 2, so I guess I'm
All right.
outnumbered.
Thank you,
Guys.
GR. Thank you, GR.
I was gonna say,
What world
Hey,
could
look
this
at
be?
get me, get
Oh.
me. I'm ready. I'm ready, everybody.
Why the hell not? Who
You
would
do have a
love
Superman
a good
vibe.
Brian Kruse just going out there fighting for truth, justice, the American way?
I see it.
And you definitely want to
one of
give
your
him a
hairs,
hug.
like one of your curls, like down
Yeah,
in front,
just
is
one-
the only
one
thing you
little-
need.
Send me the
Yeah.
audition tape right now. Let's go.
There you go.
Is that how it works? They send you the audition.
Yeah, yeah.
tape?
They
It's like,
send you
I'll
a
be in your
VHS to record over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Send me it. I'll put it into my VCR. I'll hook up my camera with the long cord and I'll record that shit right now. Put the pack over my shoulder
Yeah.
and I'll go record it right now. Let's
It's
do
like,
it.
well,
You're gonna tie
Yeah.
a sheet around your neck.
Ready to go.
Okay.
that's all you need
We
to
saw
do.
that
All you
already.
need to do.
Sabrina, what do you think about these casting notifications? Do you think that we're on with all these people, or do you think that none of these actually match Superman and Lois Lane?
I mean, honestly, like with movie magic, you could make people match way more than you would think, you know. And like looking at these people at first glance, like they all kind of have a slight resemblance to Superman. On the women's side, you know, 2 of the girls are blonde, and you know, 2 of them are brunette. So obviously, everyone's picture of Lois Lane growing up is a brunette. So like, you know, that would make me lean in that direction. But how many times has any female actress dyed their hair? So I don't really think like, you know, a snap judgment on base of off these pictures of what these people normally look like is really a thing because they can make anyone look like anyone. Like that's the beauty of the hair and makeup and costume department. They really do a great job. And you know, I feel like I don't know why with Amy Adams they were like, let's just have a redhead, which I thought was super weird. And I don't know, it's just a weird dynamic between those 2, and I didn't love it. So I really hope they do nail it in this one because they do have a really wonderful relationship, Lois Lane and Clark Kent, and also Superman. So I hope that they do it more justice than I feel like it was done previously. I agree with Sean 100% that this is really all conjecture at this point, and you know, people are just kind of taking things and running with them. So I don't really know. I don't really know where to place my judgment here. Like I don't know that I would be happy or disappointed if any of these people were chosen, you know? I'm going to wait and see. I'm not going to speculate.
And GR, I can put some muscle on tomorrow with that DC steroids. Let's do it right now. Let's
I like
go.
it. Now I'm Lois Lane. We're in. Thank you, GR.
You would make a terrific Lois Lane, Sabrina. You'd be.
I agree.
Sean,
I agree.
Sean is talking about like they've all got that same flavor. Like I think
Yeah.
this casting, like she looks exactly like when I think even if before I knew this actress, when I closed my eyes and thought about Lois Lane, her is what I thought of. You, on the
Rachel
other
Brosnahan?
hand, could bring some flavor to the role, and I think they should really consider seriously bringing you on board the project.
Oh, well,
Mike,
thank you, Mike.
I got it though. You and I play Lex Luthor together.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
But it's
Me
just the
too.
2 of us standing side by side shouting the lines. And like I think that's
I'm envisioning
No.
more of a Krang situation, Sean,
Oh,
where
sure.
I'm the big android and you're
Yeah.
present like inside my body.
your
well,
chest.
what,
Yeah, why
one
not?
of you
Yeah.
could be Lex Luthor and one of you can be the Apex Lex Luthor. How about
Yeah.
that? We just split
That's-
the time.
It's Pokemon evolution. Why not? Yeah.
Can I ask because it got mentioned organically, Sean, as someone who has a little bit more familiarity with the comic books, we've seen Soup go up against Lex Luthor like actually head to head like 100 times in a million different variations, right? Like, but we haven't seen that displayed on the cinematic silver screen. You think there's some potential there? Does that excite you?
I think it does because I think that's the whole problem in all the Superman movies is there's no one that can ever go toe to toe with him, and they solved that in Man of Steel very well with General Zod. It's just the people were so surprised that he killed them.
Yeah.
I think yes, you give a character like Lex Luthor, the powers of Superman, you give him the ability to go toe to toe against this arch nemesis. Like, yes, that's a fight you want to see. That's like, there's just so much kind of built onto that it works. Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Hopefully, we do see an Apex Lex. I'm all for that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what James Gunn's saying. Apex Lex is coming. And also he was saying that he may have beaten a lot of Lex Luthors from different multiverse dimensions. So apparently it might tie that in, like he's like the strongest Lex Luthor out there to fight Superman.
Jet Li the One situation.
Yeah, maybe.
And no one else remembers that movie? That's great.
I remember.
Mike,
Okay,
so you're sold on these people, Mike? You think that Rachel and you think David are the ones, or do you think anybody else might fall in there?
The main points I wanted to mention, I just hit with Sean and Sabrina making a perfect Lois Lane too. That was the only thing I wanted to say. Other than that, Henry Cavill's a tough act to follow, man. Like he looks just right. If I had any other thoughts to say, I'm looking at who will play DCU's Superman. It's a bunch of white guys, man. Give me a damn black dude. Give me a South Asian bro. Give me a Native American gentleman. I've had enough. Like, this is America. America is everybody. Let's represent everybody. We've had 97 different white ass Supermans. Do all the Supermans have to be that cornbread? I say no.
Well, they are in Kansas.
He is from Kansas. Yeah.
But also, he's also an alien, so all aliens are white, apparently.
All aliens are white. Okay. Yeah, point made. All aliens are white. So.
But they were actually talking about doing a spin-off with a black, Superman. That was the thing that was going.
If Idris Elba was 12, 15 years younger, I'd say get that dude in the suit.
That fool would be Superman.
Yes.
He would be James Bond. He would be everybody.
He'd be
a Ninja Turtle. He'd be everything. That's all I'm saying, He'd be working even more than he is.
That's it. All he needs to be is Luthor.
Yeah, I'd be great. He'd be great.
He'd be a good Luthor.
And Nicholas Hoult, apparently they're saying
for Kang. Sorry, I don't mean.
Idris Elba would be a great Kang. Let's go into the Marvel. Yes,
we were pitching Denzel Washington, but now that you've mentioned Idris Elba, I think I want to change my vote. Just saying. Sorry for the sidebar.
I'm still on Denzel's train.
I like Denzel a lot too.
I like Denzel too, but I feel like Idris Elba can nail it too. I'm just saying.
GR, the Jabba the Hutt, the only non-white alien.
Touche.
It's true. That's fact. That's totally fact. But yeah, Superman Legacy is coming, everybody. The announcement's coming very soon for the actual cast. This is from the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline, and insiders are saying that it's coming down to pretty much Rachel and David are the higher ones. Of course, everyone else is still on that list. James Gunn is still reviewing tapes. He's still going through it. He has not made an official announcement. They're doing one more rounds of final auditions coming in. We'll see. I wish they would have done an open call. Again, come on, open call, or maybe just let people send tapes in. That would have been fun.
But you know what? On that Marvel juice, get some protein in your bones, right?
I know, right?
I can't even imagine that, Brian.
Yeah, well, maybe one day. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't know if that's gonna happen. But Superman Legacy, it's coming, everybody. It's gonna be great, I think. Hopefully, James Gunn's fun director, so hopefully he brings that energy to this and brings Superman back to being that ray of light that's hopes and dreams for all of us, because he's supposed to be hope. Anyways, everybody, Thank you so much for being here tonight. As always, appreciate you on this Hump Day edition. Hump Day, that's all I can say.
Stop it with the Hump Day, for fuck's sake.
Sean, thank you for being here on Hump Day. Hopefully you had a great night.
It was a sticky situation, and I'm glad we got through it. Just thank you for always having me here on Wednesdays.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Mike as well, thank you for being here on Wednesday. Appreciate you on this Wednesday Hump Day edition.
Hey, wait, let me see if I can get this right. Wait, there's Lois Lane, Superman, and these
Lex
guys,
Express.
Combo Lex right here.
Yes. Oh, wait, this way. I bet it.
That's it, everybody. And Sabrina as well.
Look no further, sir. You have found your cast. We nailed it.
Woo!
Anyways, everybody, please like and subscribe. Join our Patreon if you can. And as always, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your cousins, tell your uncles, tell your aunts, tell your nephews, tell your sisters, tell your little sisters, big sisters, little babies running around your street in strollers that are like so cool and cute. Cuddle them, tickle them, tell them to subscribe to Kruse Control. Like I said, the raccoon in your garbage can, the chinchilla fighting the squirrel, because the squirrel always fucking wins. I don't know why, but when he wins and he beats that chinchilla's ass, say subscribe to Kruse Control, everybody. As always, I will say have a great night. Thank you. Come back again here on Friday for our Drunk Friday. It'll be fun as always, everybody. And thank you so much. Take care. We're at like almost 300. We'll be there by Friday. Talk to you soon.
295.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Thank you.